From being considered the premier slap-fighting combat event to claims branding the league as unsporting stupidity, here's why the future of Dana White's Power Slap League does not look good. When the loudmouth president of the UFC announced that he'd be producing a new and unique combat sports league, never in my wildest dreams did I think it was a sporting event where all contestants had to do was slap one another. Two opponents stand at opposite ends of a roster. When it's one striker's turn to slap the other, he or she has to have their hands behind their back or at their side. Power Slap League Road to the Title was basically a test to see who can get slapped the hardest and remain standing. Sure, there were a few rules in place, and White assured everyone that all strikers were thoroughly vetted by the promotion's medical team. But that's really about it, and the vetting process has been suspect to say the least. There was no deterring White though, not even after he was relentlessly called out for promoting such a ruthless sporting event. And Dana, being Dana, was also called out for underpaying the slappers. Sound familiar? But the president of the UFC stands by the Power Slap League and ferociously defends it at every turn. But the ratings speak for themselves. The road leading up to the Power Slap League's premiere was rocky, to put it mildly. Not only were people skeptical of a slapping event, but White had to delay the premiere by a week after video footage of him slapping his wife in Mexico went viral.
Brought it all in, but the celebration became physical. The video, obtained and published by TMZ, shows White grabbing his wife's wrist as she tries to walk away.
But eventually, the show premiered on January 18th. So how does it work? Well, a coin flip decides who goes first. Striker A has 30 seconds to slap Striker B with an open hand slap that goes below the eye and above the chin. Striker B can't flinch or protect themselves as they're being slapped, and they have 30 seconds to recover. If neither striker is knocked out, the judges then have to determine the winner based on a 10-point system. Seems rather straightforward, right? But when the entire goal of the event is to slap someone into submission, you're bound to get called out for, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, barbarism. But to those of you who think the PSL's barbaric, Dana White's got a message for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Watch The Voice instead. And it looks like that's exactly what many people did. The ratings took a drastic drop from the premiere event till the end of the 8-episode first season. So much so, in fact, that Warner Bros. Announced that the show would not be coming back to TBS for its second season. That is, if there even is a second season. If White's word is to be believed, though, a 2-year contract for Power Slap has already been signed with Rumble. But clearly, the first season of White's premier slapping sport was a bust. It's not only the fact that the show had a lot of critics and bad PR, it's the fact that it just didn't reel in the ratings and numbers that White had projected. If anything, the only response White gave after TBS announced that they would not be broadcasting the show's second season was that he didn't need them anyway, thanks to Rumble, who'd be broadcasting the next 2 episodes, and 8 additional live events on the YouTube-like platform. In case you're not familiar with Rumble, the platform recently made headlines for being the only platform that allowed Truth's social brand to go through, and now they're looking to host another controversial brand, White's Power Slap League. So White has broadcasting down, but what about location? After the Nevada State Athletic Commission initially gave the go-ahead for Power Slap, Stephen Klubik, the former NAC chairman, claimed he'd made a mistake.
And really talk to the team, because they're going to give you all the answers. As an entrepreneur, I don't think you ever get to that day if you're truly hard charging each and every day, because you always want to be better and better and better.
And reneged on the NAC's approval. But how far does White think he can go if he doesn't have the ratings to back it up? Well, he's willing to stand by Power Slap League, even if everyone's asking him not to. White famously said that the world was as skeptical of the UFC back in the day as they are of the Power Slap League right now. He argues that slapping sports have been around for decades. And to be fair, he's not wrong. The idea of slapping someone into submission certainly isn't new. It's a concept that's been explored in Bulgaria and other countries as well. But Power Slap League is more of a premier event for slapping sports. White's reasoning for even wanting to go through with the league was because YouTube videos of slap fighting reeled in millions of views. The prime demographic, viewers between the ages of 18 and 49, gave the slapping event a 0.5 rating. Not enough to sustain a 2-year contract like the one White's reportedly making. Also, the event's being called out by medical professionals who claim slapping sports only increase the risk of permanent brain damage. Former professional wrestler and nurse neuroscientist Christopher Nowinski shared a video of one of White's strikers lying down in a fencing position after being slapped and claims that the position was indicative of permanent brain damage. In response, White said that power slap strikers get slapped 3 or 4 times, while boxers get punched 300 to 400 times in a single bout. So do the math on that. Basically, there's no convincing Dana White that promoting slapping sports is a bad idea.
3. First one, measure. That's your measure. That's 1, 2. Done.
Got some character to him.
He's got unbelievable power. He's got great energy.
I like that.
And trying to do so is clearly a lost cause. The question is, will people tune in to watch Season 2? Dana claims that the whole thought process behind promoting slap fighting, besides the fact that he thinks it's pretty entertaining to watch, was that videos of poorly shot slap fighting competitions from Europe garnered millions of views. He claims that he's studied the phenomenon for some time, 5 years to be precise, and that he's spoken with a number of executives who all share his sentiment that if slapping competitions are shot with proper equipment, broadcast live, and have rules in place, they could gather billions of views. But the reality is, Season 1 barely hit the 300,000 viewership mark. Ouch! That's gotta hurt Dana about as bad as a slap across the face. In fact, TBS claimed that the first 4 episodes of Power Slap Road to the title raked in an average of 275,000 viewers. The following 3 episodes garnered somewhere around 100,000 views. The live finale on Rumble, however, reached close to 300,000 views, but that's a far cry from White's projected billions or even millions of views. These lackluster numbers suggest one thing: nobody cares. White's pretty sure that it was nothing more than a hiccup, claiming that the UFC had to go through a similar rough patch, and that things will look up for the Power Slap League too.
Jesus was invited to the slap-off elimination fights where he faced off against Aziel Rodriguez.
Foul. Foul?
Foul.
This is why he's willing to go ahead with more seasons, episodes, and even live events on his dime. I have to hand it to White though. When he believes in something, he's not willing to budge, even if people beg him to stop. I'll quickly list down the number of associations and people begging White to put an end to the Power Slap League: the Traumatic Brain Injury Association of America, numerous neuroscientists and neurosurgeons, the NAC, the same people who once unanimously voted for slap fighting to go on, multiple former strikers including Sean O'Malley, who vowed not to watch a single episode of the event because of what it promotes, and of course, fans who've become concerned after watching videos of slappers falling to the ground and clearly convulsing. Other critics say that even if slap fighting is fair, the wages and winnings Dana's willing to offer for possible brain trauma are not enough. So there you have it. From being considered the premier slap fighting combat event to claims branding the league as unsporting stupidity. That's why the future of Dana White's Power Slap League does not look good.